There is something that I also want to tell. There was no other option. And all of the developers out there, all of the great technical people out there think that logics works out really well, but which advises to ignore and neglect. Hello, I'm Shrey. I am a CEO and as well as a founder at Cyntexa. I started my career with a training company called as S2 Labs. Later, started creating videos on YouTube, which is because of which a lot of you know me by the name of Salesforce Hulk, and yeah, that's what it is.
How many of you have seen Salesforce videos? You are a popular man, no doubt about it. So my introduction, my name is Gaurav Kishpal. I run my own small consulting company called Venture Technologies. It's not Vaishnav Technologies. And also today's company is called Cyntexa, not Syntex. Syntex is the company which produces water tanks. So
Yes.
okay. Before we move forward, for how many of you are local to Bangalore? Like how many of you are from Bangalore? Okay. How many of you are from Karnataka? Like, and Bangalore is in Karnataka. Okay. And how many of you are not from here? Quite a lot. And I think this is what we want to see. I think any community conference that happens. Last weekend was Hyderabad Trailblazing, hosted by the Hyderabad community. And again, we saw similar like people coming from Mumbai, Jaipur, Delhi, Chandigarh, and again, it's very heartening to see like us being like representing one India community as they call it. So now we'll go a little bit deeper into your journeys. But before I do that, I want to ask a couple of quick questions. So, say, how old are you? Everybody wants to know. 17, 19?
I'm 28.
28? Can you believe that he's 28? Yeah.
Okay, how old do I look? Probably in the arms of my mother.
So, considering the way you look, how do you go into an enterprise client meeting? Like, do they ask you have to come with your father? Or?
To be very honest, I don't go on any client meetings. I mean, I have people who look much older than me, but are of the similar age, and they take care of that.
Okay. So since you're talking, let's maybe take a minute and just walk us through your journey. Like you are from Jaipur, and I've been very fortunate to see, I think, your growth over the years. But just for the audience, and I know there are a lot of people who are like in college or just out of college who want to start their journey. Just walk us through, like in 1 minute, what was your journey from being a trainer to running like a big company?
So in 2014, I was done with all of the computer science technologies that I could learn at that point of time, C, C++, Java, data structures and everything. I was in the second year of my college at that point of time. I had nothing else to learn and I could not stay calm, right? I want something to be executing on. So I started learning Salesforce. I got to know about it from the sir, from the OG. And I got fortunate over there, and then I started training people into Salesforce in Jaipur because at that point of time there was a PRO, and a lot of people wanted to join that company, and there was no other option than to come to me and get trained on that. So a lot of seniors of my own college got trained by me, and then they got placed over there. Later, I did wanted to stay like local trainer of Jaipur city. I wanted to do things on a bigger level, and I was also like that. Okay, do I want to be a trainer for my life? And I was like, no, no, no. So I was like, but I still didn't wanted to leave the training part. So I started Salesforce Hulk, and then pour all that I had over there. Later, I started Cyntexa in 2018. Started with 5 people. Right now, 450 or something like that. All without any loans, any funding or anything. Absolutely bootstrapped. Absolutely coming from a Marwadi family. Didn't take a penny from my parents. Didn't take a penny from my parents. Took a 1.5 रुपए सैकड़े का 3 लाख रुपए का loan. Converted into whatever that is today, and that's what it is.
That's great.
That's what it is.
As an owner of a business which relies purely on Salesforce, it worries me is the Salesforce stock and the market. And if any of you follow the stock, you might know what happened. Like last week, the stock literally nosedived. Salesforce lost about $50 million in valuation, which is a lot. Like for an enterprise company, for like many of Fortune went down by $1 billion. Doesn't really matter much to him as a person, but for the partner ecosystem, for the customer ecosystem, it creates a ripple effect, what we call as a ripple effect. And I should have asked earlier, any Salesforce employees in the room? Please raise your hand. Can you please go
Kiran.
out?
Kiran's there.
Okay. So we were talking about the stock and many of and we were talking about how great Kiran is. So let's bring up. You know, sometimes we have to do things because a person just walks in. Like I had a very difficult time convincing like our customers like everything is okay. But any of you felt like a nervous moment or a breakdown because of what was happening to the stock?
No.
No. Oh.
In here, what exactly do you think should be of worry in here in this case? Acha, what exactly do you think should be a concern or a thing to worry about when this is the case?
Yeah, so I think in general tech industry is going through a very interesting time, and a lot of stocks actually did take a.
So it's a whole market right now.
Service now dipped as well, a few others, but I think the downfall in Salesforce stock was, I think, like at least if you follow investor and what's it called, there is a show where Mark Benioff also goes, like they ripped him apart in terms of why has the stock nosed, right? So the only thing it kind of causes some panic in the customer ecosystem. That is very common, and it also influences the way investors and analysts look at it. So I was just curious in terms of like if you saw anything, anything you observed that you want to share.
Also, I would like to mention one thing. All of the people who are sitting in here are running non-funded startups. So as long as your customer is not the capital market, I don't think it makes much of the difference when it comes to the regular inflow that is coming in.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
I just want to put it simple from it. हमारा धंधा चल रहा है.
The other reason I was worried was I have actually bought his course stock.
So now we know why was this session in the family.
Now we know the concern here.
I don't know what kind of panelists they have put me on. एक coding नहीं करता है, 60% वाला है, एक को stock से फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, but this is what we have. So we'll go to Shrey. And Shrey, I think your story is like very inspiring. You started off as an instructor. I'm assuming you learned the business skills as you went along the way. So just walk us through that journey of like from starting off an instructor who's very, very technical. Because I remember like in about 6-7 years back, anybody who came to me asking like, I need to learn Salesforce, I'm in Jaipur, I would give Shrey's number and I would tell them, he's the best trainer available, go to him. So just walk us through that journey, how you transitioned from being an instructor to a business.
First of all, let me be very clear. There are some insights that everyone over here has passed on. There is something that I also want to tell. I never wanted to be a computer science engineer. All I wanted to do for my life was do business, right? I was very clear since I was very young, 13 years of age, very clear. Teacher bhi aake pooch rahe hain, so I was like, dhanda karenge. So this was the kind of a guy I was. In the first year of my college, I could not get my hands around things that I could build some business on, and at that same point of time, my marks also went a little off. So I was left with no other choice than to learn coding. So that's how exactly it started. But I was very clear that whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the best into it. So when I started learning coding, I used to like do it very fast and become better at it. Eventually, when I learned Salesforce, now what to do, become an instructor, because I could make some money, and and by the way, I didn't went to college after second year. I only used to go for examinations. My college was supportive enough.
Take that advice seriously.
I mean, my college was very supportive. They gave me an NOC and allowed me to execute. So I started working when I was 18 years old, right? And I got lucky at a lot of places and a lot of times. So when I became a trainer, I started training people, and believe me, the first batch was not really that good or really that well. The topics that I used to prepare for, I used to prepare the lectures for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. But it used to go 2 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes or 3 hours, something like that, because there were a lot of questions, there were a lot of confusions that were around. Because when you teach a lot of people, everyone has different mindsets. Eventually, it got better. So it's not like today you might look at me or look at anybody who is sitting over here, they're gods, I cannot be like them. See, everybody started at a position where they were an absolute amateur or usse bhi bure, and I was one of them as well. But the one thing, the commitment and the willingness to become the best eventually into it helped me a lot to become the trainer. Then went into Salesforce Hulk. The first video is still posted. After the session, you can watch it and you'll be laughing. कि मैं इसके साथ photo खिंचा रहा था. Right, that is what it is. But right now it got a little better because the commitment and the dedication to improve on a regular basis was there. Later, when I got into business, which is exactly what I always wanted to do in my life, I completely went off. I still remember the conversation that I had with you in 2019. And I asked you, sir, how are you managing all of these things? And you gave example of Ankit sir and Abhinav sir as well. Yeah, these guys are also struggling with it. You have to be hands-on when with technology when doing business as well. And see, that was an advice which I didn't took, and clearly worked out really well for me because I see it's not possible for you to manage everything. And as sir has said, you have to invest into business. You don't just have to invest into business. You have to rely on to them, and they have to be supportive enough at the same point of time. And that doesn't work out with logics. And all of the developers out there, all of the great technical people out there think that logics works out really well, but it's more of the emotional connect or the bond, the relationship that you build around with the people who you are working with, that creates a larger impact. And that is exactly what I started focusing on when I started the business, and that helped me scale very fast because I didn't had to redo things because once it was leveraged to some individual, they are still taking care of it. So that was the journey.
And I do want to open it up to the audience in a little bit, but so if you were to predict like the future of Salesforce and tech industry in general, with all the AI advancements, with all the new things that are happening, like what would be your prediction in terms of where we are heading?
2016, I went to, I guess, India Dreamin, and there I met Francis Pindar, who is also a Salesforce MVP from London. Amazing guy, a good, very, very good friend of mine. And I asked him that, okay, I'm right now doing all of this training thing and Salesforce help thing. I'll be moving into starting a consulting, and he gave me a talk on to how bell curve works, right? So he told me that in 2016 it's at the top, and now it's going down. And he told me that his strategy is to move to AWS serverless, which was booming up at that point of time. I again didn't took it. And in 2020 we saw a huge traction, 2021 onto Salesforce consultings and all of the work and everything. Let me be very, very honest. Nobody of us really knows. At least I can say for myself, no, but not for other people. We really don't know what will happen in 5 years or 10 years. But at the end of the day, how does it even matter? We have to prepare our best for whatever happens and deliver whatever is required. And if we focus on to building that capacity and capability, whatever situation or whatever technological changes are going to happen, we'll just adapt. And that's the only and the best strategy that we can work out around. Nothing else is really in our control. Of course, AI is going to write down a lot of code. Of course, there are going to be other things that are going to happen. But at the end of the day, without technology, no business can really function. And if we can do anything for one technology, we can any day switch to another technology. And that's exactly how it has been happening how it has been happening for years for all of the companies that have already been running. So if they are going to figure it out, we are also going to figure it out. So that's
volunteers. We will now move to audience Q&A. So if we can have a volunteer come here and take one of the mics. Please raise your hand if you want to ask a question. I think we raised it first, and then we'll come to the others. Yeah. About 10 minutes. We were promised 15. Okay, we will see how that goes.
My name is Sridhara from DXC Technology. It's a question to Shrey. Okay. Okay. I've been working in Salesforce for the last 12 years. I started journey with Salesforce in 2011. Before that, I assume I believe Salesforce was very good.
We'll need to make it a little bit quick. We want to give others an opportunity. What's your question?
Yeah, SMB kind of stuff. And no, the reason I'm saying is there is a reason for Shrey's thing. That's why I'm building this.
All right.
Even after working 12 years, okay, I'm there everywhere. Delivery, platform solution. I saw a lot of videos, okay? I never connected. But recently I started watching Shrey's 6 years, 7 years old videos. He made it very simple, okay? First, he bought this layman terminology, and then simply he will connect to the Salesforce, and then give a quick demo, and then do's do nots are highlighting the points. So this strategy, he got it. So where do you get it?
So your question is, how did you figure out what is the best strategy to deliver the content that whatever you're delivering? See, it all around 5 things: what, why, where, when, how. if you can just figure out how to put it into the right order, anything and everything can be explained very easily. So that's exactly what I did. Why do you need to use this? Why there is a need for this? What exactly is this? Where to use it? How to use it? Done. And that makes things simple. And that's exactly what I did.
All right.
Thanks.
Next question, please raise your hand. There's one person here.
This question, hi, my name is Anand Reddy. I'm a CRM domain expert. I have this question for all the panelists. How important it is for the entrepreneurs to work on the business or into the business? Which one is more important?
Into the business, when you say you're serving the clients?
Yeah, into the business means you are actually what you have to do.
See, if you're
I mean, on the business and into the business.
If you're-
On the business means you are doing sales. Into the business means you are doing everything other than sales.
Oh, okay. If your title is CEO, let's call it that way, or you're just the founder, you're supposed to do everything. The sooner, the better. The sooner you can find out other people to run all of the other activities, and you coordinating with all of them, running all of that activities is the best thing that you can do for yourself. That's from my side.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful and entertaining panel discussion. I would like to call Parth for the presentation of the close of time.
Thanks, man.
Are we done? All right. Thank you so much.
Where's
Yeah,
Roshan?
please stay back for
I
the next
was given, but not yesterday.
Okay.